and welcome to another Mark Bishop Show. You know, a new study commissioned by the Afterschool Alliance and conducted by Edge Research reveals significant inequities in terms of summer opportunities in recent years. The report, Time for a Game-Changing Summer with Opportunity and Growth for All of America's Youth, provides insights into what the summers of 2019 and 20 look like for children and youth in the United States, nationally, and for that matter, in every state. And you know, we've been through the mill, right? So my special guests are Jodi Grant, who is the Executive Director of Afterschool Alliance, and Jennifer McCombs, Senior Policy Researcher at RAND. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Hello.
Okay, now the report is based on responses from nearly 30,000 U.S. families, which was a household survey examining the summer of 2019, as well as surveys of parents and providers that shed light on how the pandemic shaped young people's summer experiences in 2020. Was it good or was it lousy?
So it's mixed. To be honest, this is the most comprehensive summer report we've ever done. And what we found is the number of kids that are in enriching summer programming continues to grow, which is very exciting. But that the disparities in those numbers continue to grow too. So for every child who's in a summer learning program, the parents of more than one additional child really want their kids to be in these programs. And that was in 2019. In 2020, as we know, our kids have been through a lot. They've been isolated. They've been in virtual learning. The inequities that exist have been exacerbated by many of those that have really struggled to, be able to learn during the pandemic. So this summer, more than ever, all of our research is telling us that we need to do something extraordinary for our kids, and that parents they wanted this prior to COVID and they want it now. They're concerned about academic loss, but they want their kids to be able to also be kids and very much have that social interaction with each other and with caring adults as they, turn towards recovery.
Yeah, well, it's not much fun, is it, out of school time programs? It helps young people to re-engage, recharge, and definitely to rebound from the pandemic. So what did the study actually find?
So our study found in America After 3 that there is, a growing number of kids that are participating in enriching summer activities, which is really exciting, almost 13 million, and that a staggering number of parents, 95%, are satisfied with these programs that their children participate in. So that's the good news. The bad news is that far too many of our kids are still being left behind, and that, we have almost 14 million kids whose parents really want them to be engaged in learning over the summer, active, and they don't have the opportunities because of cost or transportation. The programs don't exist in their communities. So we are really trying to encourage partnerships between schools, community, faith-based organizations, businesses to create vibrant summer learning programs for our kids this summer and beyond. And Jen has done a tremendous amount of research on these programs to show why they matter so much to kids and families.
Right. Jennifer McCombs, huh? Well, it might sound like a dumb question, but it's not really. How important are summer learning programs for children and youth as we do emerge from the pandemic?
So I think that summer programs are incredibly important. So we know that they can effectively promote positive outcomes for children and youth. So it's really not surprising that summer is a particularly hot topic right now as communities look to help children recover from learning and opportunity losses due to COVID very broadly. Summer programming is also important in sort of like even beyond COVID, where we are in this moment. So research shows that without intentional effort, summer is a time that can lead to increased inequity and perpetuate and expand achievement and opportunity gaps that exist between children and families from low and higher incomes. And the results that Jodi described really shed light on how this happens.
So about how many students then are participating in summer learning programs? And, well, how many are left behind, Jennifer?
So I can jump in with that. Yeah, I'm going to jump in And I would say that, we had, in 2019, we had a record-breaking nearly 13 million kids participating in summer programs. And that's, summer learning programs, camps, places where they're actively engaged. And we had almost 14 million whose parents wanted these programs but didn't have access. I suspect that 14 million number is even higher now. I think that most parents, myself included, really want our kids to be able to interact and be engaged and be learning all sorts of things this summer. And as I said, that's what we hear from parents. Even during the pandemic, we saw the same kind of numbers for parents wanting their kids to be engaged in activities, in some cases virtually, but not to be, bored with nothing to do on their hands.
Well, so which students then are without the summer learning program opportunities?
Right. And that's bad for all of us because, as Jen's research shows, if we can engage our kids over the summer, these are skills that are going to help them not just academically, but in life. And so it's an opportunity to really listen to kids and to play to their strengths and to, engage them. It can be jobs. It can be internships. It can be, coding classes. It can be, rock climbing and outdoor ed, but to create, vibrant learning activities that really bring together the best of teachers that want to be in these programs and community and faith-based organizations. And again, emphasizing the voluntary. We want kids to want to be there, and we want the people working with the kids to want to be there.
So, Jodi, how great is the unmet demand for summer learning programs, not just nationally, but in every state as well?
It's really big. So it's, as I said, for every kid that's in a program, there's, at least one more that desperately wants to be in a program and doesn't have it. So it's a huge growing need. And the same holds true for after school. It's even greater numbers. So when we think about this opportunity for, enhanced learning, supplemental, enriching, engaging learning, this summer is a chance to really kind of put that on steroids and do something extraordinary. But then even during the school year, we can have all sorts of enrichment through after school. And for that, we've got, for every child in a program, we have 3 more whose parents want these programs. So we are not doing anywhere near as much as we can to seize opportunities to help our kids learn.
Well, folks, just so you understand, since 2005, Jodi Grant has been the executive director of the Afterschool Alliance. This is a non-profit public awareness and advocacy organization, and it works to ensure that all children and youth have access to quality, affordable after-school programs. Heck of a job. So I ask you, what are the barriers? We sort of touched on it before, but what are the barriers to enrolling students in summer learning programs?
So the biggest barriers we found in our study were cost and transportation. And so that's, and this is really where the equity piece plays out, that, parents that can afford it are 3 times more likely to have their kid in a summer program than parents that can't. So really trying to build public will and public support to create the partnerships so that we have more of these programs. And, because of some of the COVID relief dollars, we have a huge opportunity to really begin to build that now and to reach a lot more kids because, at least right now, some of those cost issues can disappear.
Well, you touched on the fact you were working with, organizations where you could. Is the business community stepping up for you? I mean, it's a great project. It's a great concept.
I hope so. I think that I have this vision, that really we know that kids are learning all the time. And COVID taught us that you do not need to be inside a school and in a classroom to learn. And so to really start using, coming out of COVID and using these partnerships that are part of summer learning to create a learning ecosystem that would include internships and apprenticeships and jobs for kids would make it, we absolutely want our business community to be showing kids why their learning matters. And some of them can be volunteering and working in our after school and our summer learning programs. But I think the business community is a vital part of this learning ecosystem, as well as, career tech ed can be a vital part of it, which is also very important to our businesses.
So, Jennifer, let me ask you.
We know from the research.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that youth employment programs are particularly effective in improving outcomes for youth. They can reduce violent crime, but also improve advanced test-taking scores and participation rates.
Wow, there you go. So I was going to ask you, Jennifer, what do parents, and I guess this would come under your auspices, what do parents look for in selecting a summer program for their child?
I think what parents look for is that the program both meets the needs of their child, sort of like what they need to get out of a summer program, whether it be sort of a new experience, the opportunity to explore a skill, additional sort of reinforcement in academics, socialization, and fun. They are also looking to make sure that it is convenient. They can get their kids there. Definitely logistics play a huge role in how parents are able to access programs. And then also, kids have to fundamentally like what they're doing. And particularly during the summer, children vote with their feet. So it's really important that what we provide children is high quality and engaging so that they come, because we know in order for kids to benefit from these programs, they have to attend them regularly.
Yeah, it comes from the heart, doesn't it? Well, I tell you what, you do. And Jennifer McCombs, ladies and gentlemen, she is a senior policy researcher and director of the Behavioral and Policy Sciences Department at RAND Corporation. They're a big dog. Her research focuses on evaluating the extent to which public policies and programs improve outcomes for children and youth facing disadvantage. So her studies combined implementation and outcome data to provide practitioners and policymakers guidance on how to improve programs and promote positive outcomes. What a fascinating job. Good on you. Keep it up, won't you, Jennifer? Well, good luck to the both of you. Folks, go to Afterschool Alliance. Great little site. When I was researching, www.after, A-F-T-E-R, school, SCHOOLALLIANCE.org. It's .org. Don't get sucked into the .com. www.afterschoolalliance.org. Is that right, ladies?
That is right. Thank you so much for sharing this important study.
It is. You do great work, and I wish you well. And, it's a big job.
Thank you.
So thank you for what you do.